Hello and welcome, ePrasaran audience, to the next edition of Language Talks. We have a guest today who has been teaching German professionally for many years and is very passionate about it. She is currently working as the project manager BKD Educational Services at Goethe Institute, Pune. She has read research papers at international conferences for German teachers, has taken workshops and training programs on different topics related to German teaching, new methodologies, and interactive teaching of German language. She was part of the authors team which adapted the textbook Wir for 6th and 7th standard CBSE schools in India. She was also involved in a literary translation project. She was part of a theatre project which presented a theatrical reading of Franz Kafka's text on Germany. She has written and presented programs on various topics in Marathi. Let us start our conversation with Vaishali. Hello, Vaishali.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We are eager to hear your thoughts about languages, teaching, and many other things.
Yeah.
Vaishali,
how I can do justice to this?
You will definitely. Vaishali, I would like to start by asking you, how did you choose to learn German back then? I mean, why German? Why not any other language?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, Lalita. Actually, I was always interested in languages. Even till 10th standard, I could see that I'm interested in languages, whereas science and maths were not my cup of tea. And when I took admission in SP College, then I wanted to opt for German, but still somehow my passion for Marathi was overriding that. And I wanted to, no, I'll go with Marathi only. But then back then, it was my mother who said, no, Marathi you can read, you enjoy, anyway you enjoy reading Marathi, so that's not a problem, it's your mother tongue. You must learn a foreign language, Vaishali. And that's how I took up German. So why I basically chose German was because of my mother.
That's nice.
And then later on, of course, when in the second year of my bachelor studies, when we are supposed to choose a special subject, at that time, again, my inclination was political science or German. Both the subjects, I loved both the subjects. And at that time, even Professor Rajguru, who was later on my boss in SP College, my teacher and then my boss, he was the one who persuaded me for that. And I'm happy about it. And I'm indebted to Professor Rajguru for that.
Wow, that's really nice. And the journey has been really nice so far.
Yes, I can see that.
Fantastic. You went on to do your master's in Delhi, right? At the Jawaharlal Nehru University.
Correct.
So can you tell your experience about it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, after BA, we decided to go to a few friends of us. I mean, everybody decided for himself. But then we realized, okay, we are 4 or 5 of us who want to go to Jawaharlal Nehru University for doing our masters. And I would say the experience at JNU was definitely an enriching experience, an enriching life experience, I would say. As far as German is concerned, I did my master's in translation and interpretation over there. The professors who taught us, they actually taught us how to go about it. And it was not spoon feeding. This is what you have to do. You are literally thrown into the water and learn swimming. But one of the professors I would like to mention over here, Dr. Chitra Harshvardhan, she used to teach us interpretation. She taught us interpretation so well at that time. And when that time she used to tell us, see, for English, when you want to do the interpretation, then both the languages, you need to have mastery over both the languages. I wouldn't say still I do not have mastery. But she used to say that again and again. And that's why she made us listen to Voice of America, made it listen to BBC, continuously listen to BBC Voice of America for English, listen to Deutsche Welle for German, and at the same time, read a lot. It's not only this is what we are going to get for interpretation, so we read that and we prepare that. No, if I'm going to get some interpretation topic which is in from economics, then I have to read a lot about that particular topic, that thema as such. And she was a taskmaster. She used to make us go to the library, read that. But then these professors teach us how a teacher should be. And that was a very nice experience. So this was regarding German. Even JNU has a very, very big library. I mean, you are actually blessed when you are in JNU because you have so many books around you. You have to decide what you have to read. But everything is available over there. So that was one more very good thing about it. And as far as the other life at JNU was concerned, we got to listen to so many stalwarts, from all the walks of life. They used to be thinkers who used to come and give speeches. There were people like Safdar Hashmi who would play the street plays over there, and those were the 2 years where we had debates, where we thought, where we read, and that's exactly why I say it was an enriching life experience.
Indeed. I think you not only learned German, but also how to become a teacher, from what you shared with us just now.
Definitely.
And so you learned German, but which you did it in translation and interpretation, right? So translation also was a part of the whole curriculum.
Yes. Okay. So
translation
interpretation, both were my both. I mean, I did my master's in that. Somehow, of course, I did translations, but I didn't do many technical or commercial translations later on also. I did for 2 years or so, I did some technical translation and even commercial translations. But I realized myself that I don't enjoy it so much. I always enjoyed doing literary translations. That was one thing, and that is one thing which I enjoy a lot. Be it German into Marathi, be it English into Marathi, be it Marathi into German. I enjoy translating texts, literary texts from one language into the other. But however, the technical and commercial, I mean, that aspect, I did not continue. And at that time itself, I understood teaching is definitely my love, my passion.
That was your true calling.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Wow. So that is how you decided to take up German as your teaching career, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Wow. Fantastic. So, sorry, please go on.
No, so it was in 1990 when I had just finished my MA and come back to Pune. And at that time, Professor Rajguru called me to SP College. And he just talked to me and then he said, come on, start teaching 11th and 12th standard. And so I started teaching 11th and 12th standard German. Way back in 1990.
Junior college. Okay, junior college it was called, right?
Yes, junior college, correct.
Wow. So it's a vast experience, and I must ask you then, how was the scene back then, like when you were teaching German, and how is it now?
Right. Things have changed a lot. I mean, you will also remember when we were in junior college, the 11th and 12th standard, we learned German. The textbook for us was Deutsche Sprachlehre für Ausländer by Schulz and Griesbach. Yes. That was the book that was like, wow, it was for all the junior college students, that was like Bhagavad Gita. No? And then the book was it was a black and white book with small pictures or caricatures here and there, but not many of them, and we learned German that way. And when I came in 1990, when I started teaching German, that was the first year of teaching of Lernzieldeutsch. The new book was introduced in that year itself, and Lernzieldeutsch was the name, and it was definitely a different textbook from what Schulz Griesbach was. There were dialogues, there were pictures, there were short texts, and it was a totally different textbook. And but at that time also, I remember there was one kind of a training organized for us teachers, and then uh, there was there were people who definitely criticized Lensil Deutsch also. No, no, this is not a communicative approach, and this and that. Typically, the didactical part of it. But at that time, I was experiencing in junior college other subjects which were taught in junior college, be it Marathi, Hindi, or social sciences, or commerce subjects, or science. All the textbooks were the textbooks with a lot of content, long texts. And Lensil was the one where there were pictures. And for the students, that was a beautiful book. The students used to say, we love this book. So this is a difference. Teachers, when they're talking about the textbook, they talk from a different perspective. But for the students, in other 5 subjects are sort of boring for them. The textbooks, I'm talking about when they're boring. Whereas here, there was this Dino Bota and Monica Mai, and then Dino Bota asks Monica Mai, do you love me? And then there were these hearts. For students of junior college way back then, that used to be, that was the interesting book. So, so this is how the textbook kept changing, however. And then later on in 2004, when we introduced Themen Aktuell as the junior college textbook. Here I'm talking only about junior college. I'm not talking about Goethe Institute Maximilla Bhavan. But Themen Aktuell was introduced in junior college. Again, Themen Aktuell came as a colorful book. It was not a black and white book. It was not a 3-color book. It was a colorful book. And that was once again very, very interesting for the students. We are seeing fruits as fruits. Apple is seen as that red apple or green grapes. That was very, very interesting. And it was nice for all the teachers also to take the book in the hand and go through that. However, from Lensil Deutsch itself, audio training definitely came in. There were cassettes of Lensil Deutsch. And then later on for Themen Aktuell, there were, of course, CDs also there. And now the new textbook, which is there for junior college, now it doesn't only have a CD, it also has a QR code scanner, and students can listen to it even from the comfort of their home. This is how even the textbooks have changed, and along with the textbooks, the methodologies also. Because once the audio-visual things came, then obviously teachers also had to change themselves. Teachers also, first of all, they used to be thinking, no, we can't do this. There are big classes, there is problem, they can't listen to this. But somehow, slowly but steadily, definitely everybody started overcoming those problems. And then now the audio-visual is an integral part of German teaching in junior colleges. Here I'm again, let me just talk about it. Here I'm again talking about the junior college scene in the junior college, because at that time I was teaching only in junior college.
Correct. Yeah, understood. So what do you think? I mean, since the German teaching has changed and the methodologies have also changed, can you explain with a few examples about the methodology as such? Like when it was, for example, back then, and how is it now?
Yeah. So, yes, as I said, even when I think you also have done some courses even at Goethe Institute. Goethe Institute was using the audio-visual methods ever since. I mean, they were using that. But however, the textbook also kept on changing. No? So in junior college, I remember using only the blackboard and the chalk in the earlier years. Yeah. As there were 120 students in one class, it was not possible to have to literally have the cassette recorder over there. But then later on, of course, it changed. Then we started using the CDs. The methodologies also changed because interactive teaching is an important part. That is what, of course, that we understood, but we started implementing that also. We actually, even in those classes of 120 students, 100 students, 80 students, how can we use interactive teaching while teaching German and make our teaching interesting? That was one very, very important thought. And okay, we have desks, we have the long rows of desks in our classes. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter even if the students make a little bit of noise. Still, let both of them talk, or let 4 of them talk. And then this is how the interactive thing started, even in even in colleges, or while giving the exercises also. Okay, we want to have the dialogues. Why don't we have dialogue writing? So first the students would write the dialogues, then the students will play the dialogues in the classroom. 2 of them would be. So basically, to make your teaching interesting and to so that the students understand the concepts, so that the students understand that I have to communicate in this language. Because communication, many a times it used to happen, students would get marks 100 on 100. आमचं ग्रामर पक्कच आहे मॅडम, कारण आम्हाला ग्रामर येत आहे सगळं, पण बाळा बोलतोस का काहीतरी? बोलता नाहीये मला. मग भाषेचं महत्व हे आपलं बोलण्यामध्ये आहे. आय हॅव टू स्पीक, कम्युनिकेशन. वाय डू वी स्पीक? बिकॉज यू वॉन्ट टू कम्युनिकेट विथ माय friends, I want to communicate with my neighbors, I want to communicate with my teachers. So communication is important. आणि हे त्यांच्या गळी उतरवणं, कारण मुलांना सुद्धा ती सवय नसते. नाही, असे खेळबिळ नसतात आमच्या इतर वर्गांमध्ये कुठे. खेळ इथे नसतात आम्हाला. अरे पण खेळ महत्वाचे आहेत, खेळांनी आपल्याला मज्जा येते बघा, हे त्यांना सांगणं आणि याच्यातून भाषा शिकवणं. पण ते गळी उतरलं गेलं, पण म्हणजे ते आपण प्रयत्न करत राहिलो की त्यांच्या ते गळी उतरतं मुलांच्या, हेही लक्षात आलं. That is, it is somehow, you don't have to leave that. You have to keep on doing it. Maybe at first they're not used to it, but then they get used to it. Okay, our teacher does this. One example I can give you over here. It was a class of art students, and 70 to 80 students used to be there in the class. At that time, when, as I said, if those were grammar exercises, they would do it fast. But if you tell them to write something on their own, then it's difficult. So I used to do freies schreiben, writing. The first 5 minutes of the class, you are going to write something in German. Something. Doesn't matter. Two sentences, 3 sentences, 4 sentences. We would start that in 12th standard, because in 12th standard, they can at least write some sentences in the beginning of the year also. So this is how we will start. And then we would start that, and then first they would write, ich heiße Vaishali Dabke, ich komme aus, ich wohne in, ich lerne. These used to be the standard sentences. And then about friends and about teachers, something like that. But later on, they started enjoying that. And we used to do this experiment for 2 months. And then I used to tell them, now see the first day what you wrote. They used to make a different notebook for them. And now you see what you wrote on the first day and what you have written on the last day of our experiment. They themselves used to understand. They have started writing something in German. And then the same experiment we did for speaking also. Same experiment. You come here and speak, or you sit on your bench and you speak. Because coming in front of a class and speaking, basically that is the stage fright. Even when a person is speaking in Marathi or in his mother tongue, then also one is scared, one doesn't feel like doing it. So you be there, you sit there, you read it out if you want. And then this is how we used to, I started developing their speaking skills, their writing skills. I used to do this every year for 12th standard. These particular productive skills.
Yes, this is really fantastic. So that even if they don't take up the German language as their main career or main thing of study, still the fear of learning any language is removed.
Exactly. And that becomes a little novel also for them. That a teacher is not just doing lessons after lessons, but she is doing something else. One more experiment I did for at least for 5 to 6 years. I did that in SP College. That was one. I had some wonderful photographs with me.
Okay.
So I used to make 4 groups according to the. Okay, here some people might take objection. You used to make groups according to their grades, their marks in German, but that I had to do because what I wanted to do something different. So there were 4 groups. So the weakest one, weaker one, stronger, and the strongest. That's how marks above 80, marks above 70, above 60, and below 60, something like that. One picture would be given to all the 4 groups.
Okay.
The first group, same picture. First group would be told, okay, you just see the picture and try to write as many words in German for all the things which are there in the picture. As many words as possible. The second, again, picture and try to frame sentences. The third group also, now you frame German sentences and write them in an order. And the fourth group would be told, you try to write the sentences using some particles afterwards, later, first, at first, etc. Try to write the story. So this would be this we would do in the first week. In the second week also, I did the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
In the third week, the weakest section, they would tell me, we also want to write sentences.
Oh, wow.
So, from word to sentence, from sentence to a story, all four groups, they traveled. And finally, every group wrote a story.
Wow.
So
fantastic. This is really motivational for the weakest group. So you took everybody along with you.
Exactly. And they were so happy that they could write a story.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is an achievement.
They were not told that I have made these groups according to marks or something. Nothing like that. They were not told about it. They were just, we have these 4 groups. And all of them, they did a wonderful job. This experiment we carried out for 6 weeks. And they created such nice stories from those pictures, actually.
Wow.
त्यामुळे मलाही करता येते आणि हा खूप महत्वाची गोष्ट आहे अर्थातच सगळ्याच बाबतीमध्ये म्हणजे की मला काहीतरी करता येत आहे मी जर्मन भाषेमध्ये कम्युनिकेट करू शकतो किंवा शकते हे खूप खूप महत्वाचं फिलिंग आहे ऍक्च्युली आय कॅन डू समथिंग and then obviously that motivated them to learn German happily.
That's very important.
I won't say की मार्क मिळाले म्हणजे ते पण ते जर्मनच्या तासाला यावंसं वाटणं आणि हे खूप मोठं चॅलेंज आहे ज्युनियर कॉलेजमध्ये की मुलं आपल्या तासाला आली पाहिजे कारण इतकी वेगवेगळी अट्रॅक्शन्स आहेत इतके वेगवेगळे त्यांच्या समोरची चॅलेंजेस आहेत ना की त्यांना वेगवेगळे क्लासेस असतात त्यासाठी त्यांना जर्मनच्या कुठल्याही जर्मन नाही म्हणत मी एकूणच तासांना येत हे खूप मोठं चॅलेंज अँड ॲट दॅट पॉइंट that they should come to your class and not only that they should enjoy. My motto was enjoy this learning process. You have to enjoy learning and similarly I have to enjoy teaching. So that once that process gets an enjoyable process then it's definitely worthwhile.
Absolutely. Yes, that's true. So what I gather from this is not only the students enjoyed, the teachers also enjoyed, but the teachers had to upgrade and upskill themselves, to adapt to this new process of interactive learning, teaching, sorry.
Definitely. Yeah.
That is a tough job, I think, because traditionally we have learned it differently, but teaching we have to do differently.
Yes.
That's a really tough one.
Yeah, you're right. And the thing is, you have to update yourself.
Yes.
In this world, you absolutely have to update yourself. You can't say, nahi mala asa hona. You have to update. And once you update yourself, as I said, that has to be, I have to enjoy it.
Yes, you have
to enjoy it. I have to update. That's it. That's so simple.
It's a cycle. Yes, that's right. Fantastic. So yes, I think this explain your approach towards teaching, that the teacher and students both should enjoy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nutty,
So,
nutty.
okay. So you have taught to junior colleges, and you have also been a visiting faculty elsewhere. So, have you addressed to a larger group of students always, or were there any other smaller groups or individuals?
Uh, Not individuals, because I haven't
Mhm.
given tuitions, and I've never given
Okay.
tuitions till in all
Okay.
these
Mhm.
31 years, I can say.
Oh,
Larger groups, all, of course, for 27 years, I was teaching
wow.
larger groups.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
in 2009, I started teaching at
Hmm.
Kyoto Institute, Maximula Bhavan, Pune.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
there, the experience was of a smaller group, all
Okay.
the latest
Hmm.
technology available over there.
Okay.
Interactive
Hmm.
teaching was the key.
Okay.
Communication
Okay.
was also the key. So
Yes.
textbooks were different, the groups
Hmm.
were different, the people,
Hmm.
the students, there were adults also, the students who were coming over there, their
Hmm.
objective of learning a language was different. In junior college, the objective was, I want to score marks.
Correct.
Scoring ere bharpur घेतो. That used to be the thing.
That is the
But
funda. Yes.
that is the funda. German scoring घेतो. घेऊन टाका. At least तेव्हा तरी होता. आताच मला माहित नाही. आणि
Oh.
and here in Maximilla Bhavan, people were learning German because maybe they were working in a German company. They wanted to
Hmm.
go to Germany. So the objective of learning the language was also different.
Huh.
And that's why the teaching was also different. The way
Hmm.
it was taught was also different.
Hmm.
I used to
Hmm.
teach at that time from 2009 to 2017 till I left
Hmm.
till I left SP College. I used to teach on
Okay.
Sundays over there, only on Sundays, because Sundays used to be a
Okay.
holiday.
Okay. Hmm.
Yes. So I enjoyed that teaching also, totally.
Okay. Hmm.
There were other, for example, in SP College, it was not always not possible, because for a group of 120 students, 100 students, or even 80, 60 students, you cannot every
Yeah.
day do something with chart papers and draw this and that. Yes, of
Yes.
course, at regular intervals, I used to do that. We used to make posters, we used to make charts and those things. But
Hmm.
here, there were other things also available. So I enjoyed teaching that also.
So, what was the challenge addressing a smaller group? What was the main challenge you faced there?
There was no challenge.
No challenge. Okay.
I didn't find it challenging. As I said,
Okay.
maybe because I love teaching, I adapted to that smaller group also.
Yeah.
I adapted
Yes.
to that smaller group and adapted to that interactive teaching. Many
Okay.
times, for example, like we say in schools and in colleges, that's because you also have done didactics in German.
Hmm.
Frontalunterricht.
Yeah.
The teacher is
Yeah.
standing in front and uh, either teaching or maybe writing something on the blackboard and teaching, explaining the
Hmm.
grammar. Here maybe
Hmm.
many a times we used to do it by doing, you know
Hmm. Hmm.
at Maximilla Bhavan.
Correct.
So there was
Yes.
definitely methodologies were different, definitely.
Hmm.
And as I
Hmm.
said, in college it was not possible always the
Hmm.
interactive teaching. Here
Correct.
that was the key. And but I adapted to it. I mean, I didn't
Yes.
find it challenging. In fact, used to enjoy it so much की रविवारी मी अशी सगळी एनर्जी गोळा करून परत सोमवार ते शनिवार इकडच्या लेक्चर्सना तयार व्हायची त्यावेळेला. I still
Wow.
remember that.
Fantastic.
I used to work 7 days a week for almost
Wow.
more than 6 years. I worked for seven days a week.
Fantastic. So, I think the key is update and upgrade and move
Correct.
on. So, that is the key, I
And
think.
one, yes.
Great. And there is one, since you're a teacher and been interacting with students for such a long time. So, with the advent of new technologies, so how is the teacher and student coping with languages? Because both are facing challenges. I mean, Maybe less or more, but there are challenges definitely. So
You're
I
saying,
would like to know your thoughts.
mhm. Okay. See, till COVID,
Mm-hmm.
I would say the use of technology in
Mm-hmm.
classroom teaching
Yeah.
was limited up to watching a video.
Yes.
Okay, I mean,
Right.
watching a video, or even Kahoot quiz and all that also used to
Oh,
be played, but that was limited.
okay. Hmm.
It was after COVID that
Mm-hmm.
the things have changed substantially.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think things have certainly changed substantially, because
Okay.
for last 2 years, the teachers and students didn't meet each other personally. So it was totally
Yes.
the technology which was helping them teach and helping them learn, the students
Done.
learn. And there,
Sure.
so many digital tools emerged. So many,
Hmm.
many digital tools emerged, many approaches emerged, and everybody started coping because it was the need of the hour. One had to
Yes.
cope up. First, I think first 3-4 months must have been difficult, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
even in schools, in colleges, and but later on,
Mm-hmm.
everybody started coping up with that, the teachers as well as the students, and I think all are pro now, by now, in with even
Absolutely.
small children also in
Yes.
online teaching, huh?
Yes. Great. Vaishali, you have co-authored a textbook of German language for school curriculum. So how was that experience?
Wow, that was a wonderful experience. The first
Mm-hmm.
experience for me, uh, it was an adaptation of the textbook
Uh-huh.
Weir. Weir was a German textbook, and
Okay.
we adapted that textbook to Indian subcontinent conditions. And
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so we didn't change the entire book as such. Of
Hmm.
course, mm, we we changed many. We brought in new things, like
Hmm.
did you know, and then
Hmm.
the way the grammar was introduced, we changed that a little bit. So it was basically an adaptation. But I worked with 3-4 other people, and that was definitely a very, very good experience. That experience
Wow.
taught me also a lot.
Okay.
Because, yeah, because you are teaching German, that is one rule.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're
Okay.
adapting a textbook, that is again, you
Mm-hmm.
have to think from a different point of view. And that what helped me later on also, this
Yes.
experience.
Wow. That's nice. Then you have also conducted workshops and presented papers on various topics in national and international conferences. So, what could you tell us the scope of these papers, or what was the target audience?
Okay. Uh, the target audience mainly was always teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I've conducted workshops for mainly for teachers, and their
Okay.
use of different methods used to be
Mm-hmm.
the topic used to be the topic. For example, many a times it when we are German teachers. I mean, we are teaching German
Mm-hmm.
as a foreign language.
Okay.
Basically, when you're teaching the language, yeah,
Hmm.
mainly what we have is we have the textbook. Along with that,
Okay.
we have some role plays. We'll basically
Mm-hmm.
textbook and other material. In
Hmm.
this material, how can even
Hmm.
teachers, school teachers, college teachers make use of literary texts in teaching of German as a foreign language? That
Oh,
was one,
fantastic.
yes, that was one topic which I on which I did workshops. Small, it could be small literary poems. It could be even
Mm-hmm.
this concrete poesy, if you remember Ernst
Yes.
Jandl. Yeah, so
Yes.
there are many poets in
Mm-hmm.
German language who have written such
Mm-hmm.
poetry, and these
Mm-hmm.
poems are such they're easy to deal in the classroom, so that the 11th and 12th standard, 8th, 9th, 10th standard, the school children basically, or college children who are learning German language, German as a foreign language. But they can also understand, not only understand, they can even produce their own texts.
Oh, okay.
This is how you can do it, how you can do in that span of 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes. You don't have to do the literary text every time, in every class, but once in a week. That makes your teaching interesting, that makes that process enjoyable for the students also, because it's something different, and that definitely I have created something. So no, that is one. I'll just give you one example. There is one poem by Uwe Tim, I think, and it's the poem "Komm her, mach das." Ist so nicht. Leg bitte den Bleistift auf den Tisch. Mach das nicht. Sei ruhig. All are the imperative forms. Right. At the time of teaching imperative. Now we teach imperative in class. At that time, I first used to read out this poem. And then, okay, who is saying this? Everybody, unanimously, everybody would say a mom is saying this, a mother is saying this, giving orders, kind of.
Correct.
And then you teach imperative, you teach this, and then tell them to write a poem on their own in the groups. And not only they have to write, the others have to do the actions, what they say. Come here. So the students have to come here and bring them Bleistift, So it used to be fun part also. And then imperative was taught and learned in fun way. So how you can teach even for the, if, they don't have to be literature students. They don't have to be bachelor students. They don't have to be master students. Even small children or those who are learning German as a foreign language can also enjoy literature.
Right.
So
I think that is wonderful. So sensitization to literature at a very early age.
Yes.
So that's the best thing that can happen, I think, to children.
Right.
Wow.
But in creative writing, I will also take workshops on creative writing. Some of the workshops I also did with my friend, a very good friend, Amrita Kulkarni. Some workshops we did together. Some workshops I did myself alone. And then international conferences, national conferences. But basically something different every time. Which can add a little value to the teaching. And that's something which I have always tried and tested in classes.
So tried and tested method only you are propagating.
No, I didn't propagate. I just tried to present. And maybe if you like, you can do this.
So I will request you to, tell us more about this creative writing process or your workshops. So because what exactly is creative writing and how do you teach it? I mean, yes, I can write something, but how to teach it?
Yeah, correct. So what you're saying is creative writing. I mean, you can't. How do you teach it? That is your question. And basically that also in a foreign language.
Yes.
That also in a foreign language. So basically playing with words.
Okay.
Or even so as to say the vocabulary. See, when I have to write something, vocabulary is my most important tool. Whichever language. शब्द संपदा आपल्याला असायला पाहिजे. ती शब्द संपदा कशी वाढवायची? What one can do. So creating clusters. Creating first only working only with words, then collecting all the words which are related to a particular topic. Okay, that is so I have. Then even writing sentences for all those for the beginners and especially for beginner levels. When you are when you want to write something, then it's really important because they are scared of sentence formation also.
Right.
So from word to sentence, sentence to text. That used to be basically the manner in which we used to go about. Even
I see.
and or showing some pictures. This is the picture. Come on, and always never these jobs will be given to one individual in a group. They'll be always given in a group. Some words will be given. Okay, come on, make something out of it. So writing a poem, writing a text, writing a dialogue, whatever you like, and that freedom needs to be given. Moreover, for the advanced learners, then I'm giving a picture, and then okay, come on, can you people write something? They can, but it's beginners level. When it's beginners level, then I have to help them. Then the teacher has to be a facilitator also for that. So give me the words, and okay, you have the words. Not only there are some verbs also. Everything which they need for forming a text, that will be given, and then they write something. Different parts, different texts. It could be even, for example, it could be a poster. It could be anything which they can write.
Wow, that's fantastic. And, in this internet savvy generation, there is a lot of talk that people are not reading. People, I mean here children. So like many parents complain or many people complain that this generation doesn't read. So what is your take on this?
नाही मला असं धिस जनरेशन डझंट रीड वगैरे असं काही वाटत नाही. प्रत्येक जनरेशन लोक होते जे वाचत होते, काही वाचत होते, काही वाचत नव्हते. मला पण आय माइट बी रॉंग, पण मला हे प्रत्येक जनरेशन मध्ये होतं. न वाचणारे लोक होते. म्हणजे आपल्या जनरेशन मध्ये सुद्धा मला कितीतरी लोक माहिती की त्यांना नाही आवडायचं वाचायला. म्हणजे ते चूक आहे का बरोबर ह्याच्यात मी जात नाहीये, पण नाही आवडायचं. They used to not like reading. So, and many times then if you say today's generation, they would say, yeah, we read, but we read on Kindle. How does it matter? I do not have a hard copy in my hand. So maybe the medium has changed, but we do read. So in every generation, there are people who read, there are people who do not read. Yes, one must read. हे मात्र मला अगदी मान्य आहे.
Exactly.
वाचाल तर वाचाल आपण म्हणतो नेहमी तसं.
You're right. That's a great answer, and even I second that. Then this any language, I mean, not only German or English or Marathi or Hindi, any language keeps on changing because many words are being borrowed and they stay there in the language. So how does one update and upgrade? I mean, from the language point of view, what will be your advice for that? I mean, not only teachers, any other, because there are many who just learn the language just for the sake of it, just as a hobby.
Correct. Correct. For that, one has to read.
Coming back to reading.
If I have to keep myself updated as far as as far as the words are concerned, I have to read. Or even here, I would say, again, I don't know whether I'm right or wrong over here. For example, the youngsters' language. Okay, youngsters' language. If I have to know the youngsters' language, I have to be among youngsters. This is also important, because if I have to learn the youngsters' language, then I can't be sitting with, I can't only be sitting with a dictionary in my hand and then read the youngsters language. But of course there are websites which tell us, at least in German I know there must be in all the languages, I'm sure there are websites which tell us that this is the word of the year or the youngest word of the year, and then those are the words. So again it comes to reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, so those who want to stay relevant, please read.
Correct. Or for that matter, watching Netflix for knowing the updated words, and of course there are many a times even some many words which I myself won't.
You would avoid.
Yeah, I would avoid, but still at the same time, these definitely are there are good sources, I would say. I mean, watching movies is obviously a good source of getting to know words
Right.
in any language.
Right.
Here, as your question said, it could be Marathi, English, Hindi, whichever language.
Right. Right. Great. Vaishali, you are in a role currently which is totally different from your previous roles. Am I right?
Yeah,
So,
correct.
so we would like to know more about it. And also, what is Beka Day? So, if you could explain a little bit.
Yeah, sure. BKD is Bildungskooperation Deutsch, or educational services in English. It is basically a network of the schools and colleges or universities who are teaching German, who are teaching German as a foreign language. So at present, since 2019, July 2019, I'm looking after this project at Goethe Institute, Maximilian Bhavan, Pune.
Okay.
Working as project manager over there. What I basically do is I meet teachers. COVID didn't let me meet teachers and principals physically, but yes, virtually we are doing that since 2020. So I meet teachers, I explain what we do, and basically we support teaching and learning of German language in schools and colleges. We provide with extra learning material. We organize workshops, conferences, seminars for teachers. We organize competitions for children. We organize camps for children, students, young adults also. And we basically try to give them the experience of interactive learning and teaching communication in German, and to have fun while learning German, to enjoy the learning process. This is what we do. Yeah. And
that is great. That matches exactly with your motto of while you were teaching German.
Yes, exactly. Now the only thing is that I'm not actually teaching. I'm not taking any language courses, but I'm doing this. So I meet teachers, then I talk to teachers about this. We talk about different, as we said, didactics, methodologies, techniques, digital tools. That is the keyword. Parvalicha shabda hai sab.
That's true. Fantastic. Yes. Great. Now, coming to the end of the interview, I ask this question to everyone. What would be that one thing you would change in the language industry?
That's a difficult question, because मी इतकी मोठी नाही की मी म्हणावं की मी की हा चेंज करू शकेन. पण लँग्वेज, करंट टू लँग्वेज इंडस्ट्री म्हटलंस, त्याच्यामुळे तो शब्द मला आता हे वाटतं. when we say language industry, when I started learning, when I started teaching, it was not an industry. It was still a field where this language was taught, like English was taught, like Marathi was taught, like Hindi was taught, German as a foreign language was also taught. So that was a field where this language was taught. It has certainly not become an industry. But your question is very right. It has become an industry, definitely. We see many individuals or institutions teaching languages, and not only about German. Here I'm talking about generally languages, all the languages, maybe European languages, or for that matter, our native language, Marathi or Hindi or English. And it has definitely become industry, because many new professions have also come up. It's not only the teaching which is the profession anymore. There are many professions come up with the changing times. I would say whosoever wishes to. So what your question was, what you would change in the language industry, na? So I would say somehow I have observed this. There are people who come to this industry who are teaching. I'm talking about teaching here, teaching over here. maybe
Yeah.
other professions also. But then, yes, whosoever comes should come with a proper background. त्याचा अभ्यास असायला हवा. जी कुठली भाषा शिकवायची असेल किंवा ज्या भाषेचं प्रोफेशन करायचं असेल त्याचा अभ्यास हवा. हा अभ्यास खूप महत्वाचा आहे. अभ्यासाशिवाय ती भाषा शिकवण्यात अर्थ नाही. अभ्यासाशिवाय अनुवाद करण्यात अर्थ नाही. अभ्यासाशिवाय इंटरप्रिटेशन करण्यात अर्थ नाही. मग मी त्या गोष्टीला माझ्या गोष्टीला मी न्याय देतो का किंवा देते का हा प्रश्न खूप महत्वाचा आहे. इफ इट इज इंडस्ट्री देन प्लीज I would definitely change that. Everybody should study it thoroughly. Everybody should handle it thoroughly. त्याचा पूर्ण अभ्यास हवा. काहीतरी थोडंफार शिकून काहीतरी थोडंफार करून ते तसं करायला नको. त्यापेक्षा पूर्ण अभ्यासानिशी उतरावं हे मला डेफिनेटली आवडेल लँग्वेज इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये झालेलं, की प्रत्येक जण अभ्यासानिशी त्याच्यात उतरलाय. म्हणजे जो माझ्याकडे येतोय त्याला मी पूर्णपणे न्याय देऊ शकते. पण जर मी अभ्यासानिशी त्याच्यात उतरले नाही, मलाच माझ्या मनातच गोंधळ आहे. मलाच पूर्णपणे ही भाषा चांगली येत नाहीये. पूर्णपणे मी म्हणणारच नाही. कुठलीही भाषा झाली तरी प्रत्येकाला ती पूर्णपणे येत असेल असं म्हणण्याचं धाडस मी करणार नाही. पण तरी मला मॅक्सिमम येत असेल, मी माझ्याकडून माझे 100%, माझे 200% देईन, की ज्यामुळे मी ज्याच्यासाठी काम करते त्याला पूर्णपणे मी न्याय देईन. हे मला बदलायला नक्की आवडेल.
फॅन्टास्टिक आन्सर. व्हेरी नाईस.
हे मला खूप प्रामाणिकपणे वाटतं आणि ह्याच्यावर खूप विचारही करते मी. हे हवं बदलायला. अभ्यास करून करावं जे काय करायचं.
येस. वैशाली, व्हॉट आर युअर फ्युचर प्लॅन्स?
आय एम हॅपी इन बेकाडे. व्हेरी हॅपी. I would love to continue doing that. आणि अजून निवृत्तीनंतर काय वगैरे विचार इतका केला नाहीये. कारण
I don't think you will retire. I don't think you will retire. You will just keep changing.
Correct. I will keep changing. Exactly. So आता तरी मला माझं काम खूप आवडतंय. I am enjoying my work totally, fully. आणि ज्या क्षणी एखादी गोष्ट मी the moment when I would start not enjoying something, I would definitely leave it. Because for me, that is the most important thing. I have to enjoy what I am doing. Yes. I have to love what I am doing. Then I am for it. If I don't enjoy, then I have no right to be there. That would be my answer.
Fantastic. Wow, this was a lovely discussion, Vaishali. And sorry, I didn't mention your full name in the beginning of the interview. I totally forgot. So for the e-Prasaran audience, her full name is Vaishali Dabke, by the way. But it was great having you here, and you have so many nice thoughts. So I hope it gets inculcated in the students and teachers as well.
Thank you.
So thank you for
most welcome. आणि मी मगाशी म्हटलं तसं की मी काही एवढी मोठी नाहीच की काही मी सांगू शकेन, पण फक्त these are my experiences आणि तुझ्यामुळे मला हे शेअर करायला मिळाले. So I would like to thank you. I would like to thank e-Prasaran for this opportunity given to me. That was actually great. मी एवढी मोठी नाही की माझा कोणी इंटरव्ह्यू घ्यावा, पण yes, I liked it.
No, yes, thank you. And I think it is about your sharing your experience. It helps others and it motivates others.
I hope.
So
I hope it helps.
Yes, that is the motto or objective behind Language Talks, to inspire and motivate others. Yes.
करा छान काम करावं, मस्त काम करावं, भरपूर अभ्यास करावा आणि जे करतोय ते मनापासून 100% स्वतःचे देऊन करावं, ते चांगलंच होतं.
Yes, that's it. Thank you so much, Vaishali.
Thank you, Lalita. Thank you, e-Prasaran.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.